So, I see it, and now it's not about my dream. Okay, let me up when I get there. Just in a dream. You know what? We go straight in, chat. We go straight in. Let's skip the second song. Let's get straight into it. Let me just fix volume. There you go. Switch to the other playlist. There you go. Ah, yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream on my Twitch channel. Today, we are going to review the PvP gun. Kappa. Today, we're gonna play BTD, and also we hop into another game after that. With Liar's Light. Oh wait, let me invite him to the stream. Hope everybody's doing fine. Today's a beautiful Sunday as always. Is he live? My brother is live. Cool. Let's see. Chat. Boom. Pogshamba. Dude, I'm hyped, bro. Oh, man. Live streaming is so fun. It's actually always the highlight of the day. Quite literally. It's always the highlight of the day. We also got some special shit planned today. You guys will see. Let's see. That's good. Okay. Okay, everything is working. Let's go. Let's crack straight into it. Here's the code if anyone wants to join. Today we'll I feel like doing one map, like finish one map completely. I feel like we should do it more often. Like focus on one map. This map is extremely cool. Polepemos. Brother, how is Monkey Meadow not done? We have to finish this. And with this, hello liars.
Hello.
How are you on a beautiful Sunday?
I'm good. How about you? And still not Sunday.
I am really doing beautiful today. Want to do some BTA 6 games with the community. Here's the code if anyone wants to join. We're gonna do some stream together. Liars, if you're down, we could hop into the forest later.
I'm absolutely down for that.
Let's fucking do this, mate. Let's fucking do this. I thought about finishing one map today. Monkey Meadow. Like, try hard focus that map. Get all the medals on it. We are done with easy, no? We're done with easy. We have medium military still. Let's do that.
Okay, we can do that then.
Then, yeah, first game, I guess nobody's gonna join up. Just wait live.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, the Max is gotta stay together, bro. Why is Max leaving the game? My game crashed.
Oh, what? You're still in the lobby. Ah, now you're out.
What? Wait a second. Let me see. Why did it crash? Empty my... I feel like it's because I have under a gigabyte on my Windows C drive. Why is it going lower? 1 second, I think Spotify is doing shit again. Cache, how big is the cache? Of course, it's 2 gigabyte. Clear cache. There you go. Okay, we go back in. Yeah, I got 2 gigs again, okay. Quick match. Monkey Meadow, medium, only. I'm back.
Alright.
Chat, everybody join in, please. This is a welcoming stream. Everybody can play. I need some people to carry me actually as well. So, daily business, right?
And which medals do you actually miss on this map?
I'm missing medium military only and medium either apocalypse or reverse. I'm not sure which one exactly. Also, hard, I miss everything.
Okay, I have all the standard medals and chimps. That's all I have for this map.
Oh, perfect. Then let's do military only first. Really hope it's not gonna crash this time. I'm very confused. This game ain't heavy. Why is it crashing?
No idea what happened there.
Why the hell is it crashing on the main menu? Let's do something cool. Let's do this. Yo, player and rock to you. Welcome in. What am I gonna do? Military only sniper. Right, it's a daily business chat. We go live, we play some BTD. Kinda grow the community. And after, in second half, we go into another game, most likely. That's how my stream works nowadays. We will need Camolet. Let's get that out of the way. Yo, Rock to you. Hope you're doing good, mate. Welcome back. You're like, every time you come here. Really appreciate you. You're the brother. You're the reason I'm not lonely. Rock to you. Hello, by the way. Hello. Good day to you, sir. I prepared something. I wanna play piano on stream, and I prepared a little thing for that. Let me actually try to play one song. Let's see if it works. I hope it works. So basically press this button. Yeah, now you can hear the piano. I wanna try something basically. I really should not make the tutorial too big so I can still see the game. Because sometimes when playing BT6 I feel a little bit dead inside. And I wanna do something else on the side note. So I was thinking about doing something. Press LCD there so she gets beginning track and also back track. And do the donation to Rock to you. Okay, I gotta put my foot down right now. I actually have to sit normal when I play piano because I have a foot pedal which I have to use. Let's see if this is actually going to work. Oh, it's definitely laggy though. It's definitely laggy. Rock to you, can you quickly tell me with the emotes if you can hear the piano that I'm playing in real life? Nice. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. Oh man. Yeah, if you didn't know, I love playing piano. I probably play piano like at least 2 hours a day. Random ass tutorials from YouTube. There's a fun fact on the side note. As a side note. Here, more money to you, bro. Okay, let me try to play one song. Let me just correct the size of Google. Yeah, this is perfect, nice. This way I can still see the game. And I know when to get back into it. Okay, let's try it. I'm not gonna play piano all stream, I just wanna try it basically. Hello Jay, by the way, if you're here, say something, please. I'm playing BTD while I play piano. Okay, I fucked up. Okay, whatever. What do I do? Hello, Jay. Hello, hello. Fuck me. No. I will retry though. I will retry. I know I can. Just have lots of pressure to perform in public. We got this here easy. How am I, Jay? I wanna make it a bit louder though. Oh, this is very fun. This is a perfect combination. I'm playing piano, I'm not spending any of my money in-game, which is actually stupid. I should probably do something. We're playing easy though, we're playing easy. It's okay, it's okay. How was I, Rock to you? How was I? You did not expect that one, brother. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate it. I actually played like 3 times in public, 2 times at university, and 1 time in the middle of the city in daytime, in summertime, which was hilarious. I got a code to some piano house. I can go there whenever I want to. Like, it's like 20 people, 20 people in total that can just play there, and I'm one of them. It's a great hobby of mine, and I love it. Chat, what are we missing? Medium, military, apocalypse, or reverse? What am I missing? I actually don't know. Like, I generally don't know what I'm missing. You can't like see what each medal is. Rock T, what am I missing? Which one? I wanna finish all the medals on Monkey Meadow. Ich lasse dich das Licht an. BTD6. Medium medals. Which one am I missing? We are missing. Brother, why is there no website that just tells me which medal means what? How is that not a thing? Wait. Here. That's hilarious. BTD 6. Medium medals explained. Sorry, chat, I have to look something up real quick. Brother, how is there no website that tells me what medal is what? Let's do both. In the time I'm googling this, we could do both. Let's just start with Apocalypse. Public. Also, guys, please follow me in-game. I would really appreciate that. And here's the code if anyone wants to join. 666. No, why not? Why the hell not? Jay, we didn't see each other for like a long time, right? Are you like back now? Ooh, this is a perfect line for a Juggernaut. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Was will hier einfach gehört sein, weil der Apocalypse Pop-Up, der wenn das Game startet.
Sorry, what?
There was just suddenly pop-up about Apocalypse. That I never saw before. Was really confusing when I never played this game mode.
Welcome in, brother. Apocalypse is really, really, really difficult. We can probably do it though.
Yeah, probably.
How long was it, Jay? Like, genuinely. I feel like it was like quite some time, right? Let me try a few more songs. You don't know how long it was? It was a while for sure, yeah. Quite a while. Gotta be honest here. Welcome back though, Jay. Welcome back. We actually did not miss a lot. I just came back to Twitch streaming. I got the Twitch affiliate right now. You can like subscribe and shit. I mean, you already did that, but nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. Like, in terms of gaming, you didn't miss out on anything. I haven't started any single player game yet. And other than that, we just played co-op games, BT6 and Rocket League. Which you don't really miss anything. You're missing out on the fun, I guess. But nothing story related. Brother, why see? Upgrade switch to a 6-shot revolver, attacks even faster. Hello? The few balloons are in range. Holy crap, Reno. Okay, let me turn the piano thing off because it's very odd. I feel like I will definitely do some piano segments in my future streams though. And you can also request, since yesterday, you can request piano songs via channel points. If you want me to play anything specific. Like, I will like go into a music category in the future and shit like that. Jay, girl, I told you, when you come back, it's gonna be lit. I told you. I won't break my word, right? For sure, for sure. Also to everybody listening right now, I'm gonna say it now one time. I'm doing a giveaway on my Discord server, a community giveaway. The second one. The first one was a gold pass giveaway in Clash of Clans for my clan. If you didn't know, I have a clan in Clash of Clans, very successful, 50 members constantly. I'm the leader and really fun. And I'm doing a giveaway right now. The giveaway is there's gonna be 2 winners, and the winners can decide whether they want a $10 Steam gift card or a gold pass in Clash of Clans. And if anyone wants to enter the giveaway, there's not many people entering. I'm a very small streamer. You can enter my Discord server, and all the information is on there. You can win a Steam gift card to like buy games or anything. I actually don't know what you can do exactly with that. Or a gold pass in Clash of Clans. And I also highly recommend joining my Clash of Clans clan. I really recommend that. Liars, can you please tell the people that our Clash of Clans clan is very amazing?
Yeah, the Clash of Clans is very good, yeah. Really good clan.
Lars, I like how only you joined the giveaway.
Yeah, maybe someone had it online.
Yeah,
probably. You just started today.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I also like the special feature I did in there. Like, if the person is going to be in my live stream, like during I pick the winner, right?
Yeah.
I will triple the price. Because the chance that this person is gonna be in my live stream is very low actually. But it's still, it's like good marketing.
Yeah, that's very good marketing, yeah.
Okay, whatever. My first giveaway was like only Gold Pass, and that was like only for Clash of Clans. And now I'm doing it more generally, so everybody from a community can participate. Also people from that have Steam. Hello, player 3, Patrick. Mate, can you hear me, Patrick? Brother. Patrick. Serge. Jay, you can also enter, of course. I really recommend you to enter the giveaway. Everybody can enter. It's not gonna be rigged or anything. I mean, of course it's not gonna be rigged. I will pick the winner in my future live streams. But I'm not gonna mention it any more times. If anyone wants to join, go to my Discord server. And there's all the info. There are some pretty cool games coming out, I gotta say. So, a little gift card is probably also actually worth it. I believe you can actually, also to all the BTT6 tryhards, you can use a gift card, I guess, on BTT6. Wait, what? I have 1 million XP on the ninja? Brother! Oh my god, let's fucking go! Monkey Opolis absorbs ordinary banana farms and their income, freeing up space for new monkeys. 428. Nothing here, nothing there, nothing there. Holy shit, 1 million. Brother, please, Ninja Kiwi, make a Paragon Sniper. Please. Ninja Kiwi, if you ever see this live stream on YouTube, make Sniper Paragon. Probably my favorite monkey in the game. Wizard Lord Phoenix. Wizard Lord becomes a master of the flame, turning into a super powerful lava phoenix for a short time. Good shit, mate. Good shit, mate. Yo, sorry team, I was lagging a little bit. Hope you're doing good. Yo, I was lagging a little bit, Laios. Sorry, I was like...
Okay.
talking some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We got a DJ in the game, giving us good Rocket League music. Brother, Coven is such a good artist. To all my Rocket League people out there. Brother, Coven... Is she ever coming to Germany? I love her music. Of course not. Malta. But brother, let me try one thing, chat. There's one song. Here. Let me try that. And I do something in-game first, and now we go to the piano. Shit, man, I have an addiction. Okay, brother, please no emotes right now. I wanna play music. Let me play music. I will be placing alchemists up here to buff our 3 monkeys here. Please don't place anything else in the B.
Ja.
Okay. Are we gonna die from a mob? We are not. Okay, I gotta do something in game. As we dead. Brother, why is nobody doing camo? I'm playing piano. The liars. Why is nobody doing camo?
I just played the camo.
Why do I have to do everything? I'm playing piano.
Why are you playing piano?
Because I'm playing piano. Man. I'm genuinely mad. Brother. Don't make me carry the whole game. Sorry for screaming, by the way. Here, liars, here. Eat.
Okay.
Okay, the whole song is fucked already. Why is nobody doing camo? Every game I play, every viewer I play. Why is camo always neglected? Always. It's such a no-brainer. You would do camo, I know that, brother. I know that. Here. Nice. Yeah, we should got this, right? We should win this. Patrick, bit money for you. Rocktier, you are always here when I play BT6. How? Do you love this game? Sorry again, liars. I'm really emotional when people neglect camo in BT6, bro.
Okay, I thought the ninja and the wizard were enough. In this moment, I saw like go two, I put something camo.
Yeah. What are you doing, Jay? I keep on bringing you out of the lurker corner. I feel very evil, bro. GG's. We actually did it. Impressive. So next up on the menu, double HP more. Oh, nein. No. Chat, join in. Here's the code. Everybody can play. We're doing some Monkey Meadow. Probably the most played game by the whole community. Who does not like Monkey Meadow? If you're not joining, you are an official BT6 noob. This map is such a no-brainer. Monkey Meadow basically defines BT6. Jay, do you want to join? What do you mean? Okay. This is it's depressing.
Nobody seems to join.
Moisa, my brother, saving my life. Alright, chat. This time we don't mess up and we actually craft a juggernaut. Not a fucking sharpshooter. Because, look at that line. It's too good to be true. Too good to be true. So, 402 on last. There's a cool sniper up there. Did Ninja Kiwi actually talk about making a sniper paragon? Like, do we know what's next? Have I even seen that one? I saw the monkey book in I saw Wizard Monkey. I saw Ninja Monkey. I'm actually not sure if we saw this. Elias, did we see the Spike Factory paragon?
Yeah, we saw that.
Okay. We saw that. So that was on the moon map, I think, then. I had a bit of broken memory back then. Okay, so I saw that. I saw this, of course. That's it. Monkey sub. I don't remember if I've seen that. That's it? Isn't there some ice paragon? I feel like I'm not seeing everything. You're in fact not seeing everything. Crazy, brother. Why is it not showing me that? I assume I have to get the 5 tiers then. Alright, we have a goal, brother. Okay, can somebody spoil me? Is there a glue gun, a paragon? Please say yes, Danas. Oh my fucking no! Woohoo! I gotta see that. Fuck. Whew. What do you mean there isn't one? Oh, brother. I thought there is one. That'd be amazing. Yeah, brother. Don't play with noobs, bro. I'm very easy to believe stuff. I guess there's an ice monkey then, right? Ah, okay, Danas. You're a really smart guy, of course. Of course. Here, this is for you. A heart. A heart from me to you. You know, my brother? Spread some love. Spike pulled. Chat, let's spread some love to all the BTD noobs out there. Spread some love out there. Especially to me. Please. Why did I paste that shit then, Danas? Oh my god. I tried to get XP. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum ba-dum. Da-do-ba-da-do. They should show some blah. Chino should up separate in all long council on the wrong. Guys, sing with me. Da-do-da-do-ba-da-ba-dum. Very cool. Oh, level 40. Easy. Easy.
Da get walked.
Easy. Look at my big ass spiker pulled, brother.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Raku. Hello. Wait, is that you?
Yeah, and I got more press.
That's me, cool. You got a mob quest?
Press. On my boomerang.
Wait, that's the thing?
Yep. He knocks back mobs now.
Heavy calibering hits mob class balloons multiple times per throw. Multiple times, that's cool. Sometimes knocks them back for back a short way along the path. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I actually have lots of like Chinese songs, like anime songs. They're very enjoyable. Sunshine. Super good and catchy. How do I know it? We have a monkey village. Danas. Why do I believe you're trolling me? Why do I believe you're trolling me? It's actually a cool song though. Actually a good song. Of course you listen to this, bro. You are... Of course. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked, like... I'm not shocked, mate. Ah, yeah. You know this song, Danas? Please say yes. Yeah. Baby, nimm meine Hand, ich hab alles schon geparkt, komm, wir beide gehen weg von hier. Sieh dir der Janet an, ich hab Geld auf der Bank und noch jede Menge Plätze hier. Und immer wenn du einsam bist, komm ich rum, du musst nie wieder alleine sein. Denn immer wenn ich dich sehe, mach ich hier Tick, Tick, Boom, so wie Dynamite. Aha. Und dann der Geist dann... Ey, yo. This should be good, right? Von dir. Dass du mich hast. You like German songs, no? Are we winning, Roku? Who placed the bomb shooter down there? Nice. Nicht für dich. Aha. Ja, okay, dann ist. Why do I keep getting German songs? Skip. I'm not gonna play that one. Which playlist is this? Is it my playlist? Yeah. Cut the Cord from Shinedown. That's a good song for BT6, I assume. La 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 la, freedom, la 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 la, na 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 na. Ba boom, wop wop bo, pow pow, ba da ba ba da bom, bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bom. Please upgrade bigger radios, player free. Moiser, please upgrade bigger radios. If you can hear me. Right, he reacted. Moiser, go to your monkey village. Bigger radios, please. Is Moiser from your stream, Lars?
Someone want to come on stream join? They don't know if it's Mothers. Might be.
Ah, he did it here. Ah. Smart. Thanks for the upgrade, brother. Here. Oh my god, okay. Cool look. Alright, so inner circle is shotgun. Let's go! 4 cakes!
Yeah.
And 44 money! My favorite number. Let's go! La 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 la. What is Legends? Oh.
This is some other game in this game, I think. Or something.
A game in a game?
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know. There's a quest to try it. Somewhere, I think.
Yeah. Let's get back to co-op, chat. Blue story mode. We go to... Oh yeah, Monkey Meadow. Let's finish Monkey Meadow. I wanna get the golden...
You left?
because I have ADHD. I don't know how to press back. Hard and half cash. That's next. Chat. First comes, first serves. $10 Steam gift card if you join. Kappa. We should start paying our viewers for joining us.
I think we can't afford that.
But I feel that's what it takes.
Some people come in.
Bruh, 2019, people swarmed to play with me. They swarmed. They were like in check. Oh, please let me join. Please change seat. Let me do it. You know?
Probably not as many people playing Bloons anymore.
We reach times where we have to pay viewers to join us. Really, really amazing. Half cash. Ah! Pain.
Sounds annoying.
Oops. Just gonna add everybody. So, same thing. I'll do this. No, good luck, have fun. Let's go. Wait a second, there is some Twitch thing. Wait. Twitch, if you Twitch affiliate or partner, you can create. If you Twitch affiliate or partner, you can create loadout pools. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that was cool. Yeah, I remember. 1 second, chat. This is cool. Log in. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a cool thing. So basically, I can do this. Give it like 30 seconds and then I choose some monkey. You guys in chat can bit voting. Holy shit. Point voting, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Guys, please vote in chat what I pick. Oh, what did I do? I'm gonna get so sabotaged. Hello, please vote. Guys. If you're listening to the stream, go to the chat. It takes 5 seconds. And vote for a monkey, please. I will then have to place that monkey. And I'm actually restricted to only that monkey for some time. So please. Okay, that monkey. Now the next pull. Keep on going. Keep on going. Next pull up and running right now. Sniper monkey. Okay. How is there one person only joining the pulls? Okay, next pull up. Monkey Ace, CD Pilot, Mortar Monkey, Dartling Gunner, Wizard Monkey. Which tower do you want me to pick in the game? Danas, it really is a classic, brother. It really is a classic. And yeah, it's not as hip and cool as it used to be. Definitely, I signed that. You got my sign there. Alright, so far we got Dark Monkey, Sniper Monkey. Next pull up in chat. You can now go to the Twitch live chat and vote for something. Super Monkey, Ninja Monkey, Alchemist, Druid. Please vote Alchemist. Please. What happens if nobody votes? That means I'm cooked. Imagine nobody voted anywhere. I cannot place anything anymore. Brother, why Banana Farm? Guys, don't vote Banana Farm. Alter. I genuinely hate... Yo, before I'm gonna be restricted, I'm gonna place an NCD real quick. So what... Okay, done. What now? Hello? I have done it. Wait. Okay, so it randomly chooses one then. Dart monkey time, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Whoever voted Dart monkey. Really fun tower. Liars, I can only use Dart monkey.
What?
My game got hacked.
Oh no, what's going on there? That's... Oh,
My
no.
viewer sabotaged me, okay? Okay, nah, I was just saying, basically, if you affiliate and shit like that, you can like connect your Twitch to your VG6 account and then you can let viewers decide which towers you can place.
Okay.
But you get restricted to that tower only. And now I can only place Dart Monkey.
Yeah, this is a problem.
Yeah, so please carry. Is Raku
try-
here? Raku! This is your moment to shine, brother. That's crazy though. That's actually a cool feature. I really like that. Oh, I remember. This gives me flashbacks. Oh man. So basically, if you run multiple polls, it will then just decide which one got the highest amount of votes. That's good, I guess. But who the hell... Yo, if somebody... All me, rocked you. Banana farm. I hate banana farm. I hate it. Imagine I could only place a banana farm right now. Nah. Wait, it's also like $1,000? Wait. Nah, it's crazy. Ah. Elias, imagine the banana farm won the pull.
Oh, that would have been not even
Brother.
fun. Actually, you could have found money for us then.
Nah. I gotta make content. I can't farm money. It's boring.
Learning how to use banana farms is also content, I guess.
Yeah. Player 2, upgrade Ninja Monkey, please.
I don't have money.
Here. Oh, that is smart. It strips the camo.
That's very useful.
Good choice, mate. Brother. I can't even make a new one. This is crazy. Take my hand and follow me. Na 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 na. bananas are dying. Who is this? Ah. Nein, nein. Ah. Ah, and you're even happy about it. Hello, superpowers. Nein! Okay, I try to help out with some sharpshooters. You're not eligible to get tactical knives off front for Rocket League. Dadas, get it. It's always good to have some loot that you will never use. I actually did that like yesterday with all the random drops I got. I just claimed them. Why? I don't know. Did I claim them? Yes. What do you mean AFK? Brother. Okay, as series you gotta play something else. Guys, I can't. I cannot make a new poll. I'm stuck with this. This sucks. No. Oh my god, I just noticed they bounce. They bounce. They bounce. That's cool as fuck. Like the spike pulse. Yeah, I should make one right in the beginning. That's smudge. Are we cooked?
I hope not.
Let's go! Let's go!
Good work.
Let's go! Have fucking mercy with me, mobs. Da 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 da. Wait. The third upgrade from the Ninja Monkey. Did you read that? Shinobi Tactics. Like 03? Shinobi Tactics.
Okay.
What on
Aber
earth?
That can stack 20 times, but das ist too expensive for now, glaube ich. I think.
Like, think about it. Increases attack speed and piece of enemy ninjas 20 times!
Yeah, you can really
20 times!
Yeah.
Can he even fill 20 ninjas in this circle?
No idea. Das ist really geil mit.
That is the coolest thing I've read this far. In a long time.
Yeah,
Dude, we should try that shit. I never placed this. Never.
I also never used it.
Is this viable, chat? Probably, right? 20 times stacking ninja.
It's okay.
Wait.
But also very good.
Ah, but you have to only, yeah. But you need 20 shinobis then, right?
Yeah, 20 Shinobis.
So basically 20 balloon sabotagers. Which one? And sharp shurikens, I guess, right? Yeah, it's good, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a try, we should try it. I'm actually down for that.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Where's the mouse? Oh, my sniper. There you go. He's the emergency guy. He shoots first. It's a P, trust. What map can you try that? Logs? Logs is probably bad for that, right?
Yeah, Grandmaster in 20 Shinobis, yeah, that would probably be very good.
This is such a nice song. Brother, I can only spam some monkeys. Oh.
This is really not gonna happen.
Why chat ain't voting Ninja Monkey? Why that? I'd rather play Banana Farm, brother. Hold your horses now. Hold your horses now. Dangerous, dangerous! Do we need totem? Do we need totem? No, right? Oh. Okay, we don't need totem. We're good. I'm gonna place totem for round 80.
Yep.
Gotcha, horse. Fuck, I panicked. I placed it. It's good placement, alright? Yeah, it's good placement. Perfect placement. I think it's some Icelandic band. Danas showed me that. And I added many songs of them, right? Monsters. Oh, only 2. Yeah, still something. But I do remember when I listened to them in shower. Like many songs. Good band. Okay, totem should be ready, so every 2 rounds you can make 1 totem.
Well, that's quick.
Grandmaster and 20 Shinobis.
To buff the Grandmaster as max as possible.
This guy wants free play. I don't want to do free play. I only have the dark monkey. Totem.
Yeah, not with only dark monkey, that's a bit boring then.
Look at that. The totem is a real G. Ooh! How?
What?
What did the pops? Ezity? 30k? Ooh, this guy is crazy. Ooh, yo! I take all my words back. That monkey's carrying.
Yeah, if he's good placed, that one is really strong.
Holy moly, macaroni. 76,000 pops. This guy. Not even a 5 tier. GG's.
GG's.
I didn't say bye to the random guy. Oh, I feel bad. GG's, if you ever see this. Chat. Ooh. We're making progress. Standard magic monkeys. Alternate Bloons rounds. That's, if I remember correctly, level 100. If anyone wants to join, chat, here's the code. Join in. We're playing hard mode, alternate Bloons rounds. I probably should reserve. Dias, join in.
Yeah, I'm joining.
I should probably reserve a spot for you. So, hard on the Bloons rounds. Pick your hero. I'm going for Ezity. It's a no-brainer to me. Looks like we are ready. I would say we're going, right?
Yep.
Hard mode. Let's fucking go. Woo! Oh, it's only level 80, so that's fine. What I want to try this match is I want to place a glue gunner right there. So yeah. So you can also like glue balloons that are quite further, like here, and beginning. Just support, nothing else. Yeah, 024 is the goal. First, and once we get to mob rounds, we put them on strong, maybe. We're back with the banana farmers. Brother. Okay, sure. It's actually funny. Chat, I'm gonna make polls and you can decide. Nah, I don't want that. Nah. I don't want to restrict myself to one monkey only. It sucks. What we could do is I place the base, so basically everything I want. I need money for SD, one donation please. Thanks mate. Who's this? Why is Thanos trolling? Like, I genuinely don't like that. Let's go. You're such a troll, man. This is a perfect spot for everything. Except a fucking banana farm. Yeah, I go for that. 0-3. Yeah. 0-3-2. Why the hell not? Oh, this is a good song. I am here, popping balloons. Steroids. Bravo 6. We got the camo up and running. This guy, for example, Arctic Wind. That spot here would be perfect for that guy. Okay, I could also place him there. Ooh, here. Yeah. I'm not gonna hesitate any longer because I know viewers like to troll me. Somebody would just place a monkey right there if I keep holding it. 0-3. Yeah. Let's make 2 of them. False Rock to you. 2 Arctic Winds here for support. Refreeze. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing this. Move slowly even after and camo lead. Ooh, that sounds good. Wait, they can pop camo lead. But he can still freeze camo lead even if I don't have that, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, fuck that. Easy. And there we have it, Snowstorm. Snowstorm ability freezes all regular balloons on screen, briefly freezes white, zebra, and camo, and slows mob. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Oh yeah, we want a larger radius on this guy. And we also want refreeze. Nice. Not that optimal spot, but whatever. Until we do the same. What just happened? Why did I hear an airplane? Liars?
Yeah.
Why did I just hear an airplane?
Someone used the item to get money.
Hä? Like cash drop?
Yeah, cash drop.
Ah, okay. Oh, rock to you. I see. I see you. I support you on that. Give me a minute. I definitely support you on that mission. Wait, Grandmaster and 20 Shinobis. Wait, so how exactly does this work? So basically you need 20 Shinobis and then you can... This would be amazing, like one of these, right? And everything within range of this. How is it possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. How? Or do they have to be in range from the one that has to get boosted? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, right? Better have taught me, yeah. You still have some space up here, actually. Right here. Make many. I support you. You know what? Rock you, let's do this. Let's fucking go, mate. How many pops? 16k? What exactly attack speed and pierce? Ah, you can also see 8 times boosted. Let's go. He has 8 times more pierce. Something like that also exists here. Like stack up 5 times or anything you need. Should do that also someday. Great. I get 20. Let's go.
Ah, and this was not the item. Someone has the elite sniper, which gives cash drops.
Supply drop gives much more cash, grants elite targeting prio, and faster reload. Supply drop ability drops of crate full of cash. Activates supply drop for other snipers. The regular attack also damages lead balloons and increases shot in public car. Brothers making money, huh?
Yeah. It's the same way as all the banana farms, so he's rich.
So for example, this guy, for example, only has 7. But it doesn't really matter, right? Because we don't want to buff him, we want to buff him. I get it. If you want, I can sell my glue gunner later, if you still need more space. I want this. Is it just the ability that you get, or is it also gonna make him stronger? It's just the ability, right? You're paying just for the ability. Ah, a bit bigger range as well, and it seems like he's faster. Well, why not? Let's try it. Okay. Freeze all regular balloons on screen. Briefly freeze white, zebra, and come on to mob class. Nice. Doable. Also, let's go to round 100 for the Insta Monkey.
Okay, let's do that, yeah.
Yeah. Live and learn. What? Did I create that? I didn't. Holy crap, Reno. Brother, are you fucking joking me? What? Ah. Pull winner total for loadout. Ah, okay. Oh my god. Now I get it. Let's try this shit. Okay, so you can vote for the monkeys I can place. Let's make 2 in total then. So I should be able to place 2 of the chosen ones. I'm done with a mission anyway, I'm just spending money to rock you. I would appreciate if some people can vote in chat right now for the towers that I should place. I wanna try this feature. I can also vote myself, I guess. Ice Monkey. Sniper Monkey. That should be enough. Wait, let's do one more because I want to know how it reacts when I have... Wait, no, we already have 3. So we good. We Gucci. Thanks for voting, guys. Okay. And when this is done, it's going to pick... It's going to gamble the ones that got the same votes. It's going to gamble 2 out of them. So we should see 2 monkeys in a minute. I really hope nobody voted Ezzy because I already placed her. Alright, should be happening 3, 2, 1, and these are the towers. Okay. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. I get it. Never mind. You can actually, when you do the pull, like loadout pulls, you can choose how many monkeys you want to have at the end.
Ah, okay.
So now I choose 2 and I can place 2 monkeys.
Yeah, that's better. Probably.
Very cool feature.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah. I do one more upgrade. There you go. So we got some safety back here. And now we do this. Brother, how much money do you need, my brother? How much money do you need? 37k? Elias, help Roku out, bro. He needs 37,000. Too late, I guess. There you go.
Okay, that's no.
Holy, he's 20 times boosted.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh my goodness. Incredible fast, plus 20 times faster, plus 20 times more PS.
Yeah, that's quite
He's
insane.
gonna solo Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was this shurikens.
What is this? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
Oh, there's the second one, right? It's out here, the Bloons.
Totem? GG we dead or GG we win? Like,
I think we win
this is the fortified one. This is scary.
Yeah, this is very scary right now.
Even your game PC is scared of it, brother. Okay, maybe now?
Okay, we win this.
Woo! Desperado, baby. Let's go. Yo, GG's chat. Thanks for showing me that rock to. Brother, I don't know how to pronounce your name, mate. Roku. How should I call you, mate? Rock you. Rock you. Okay. I do a little bathroom break. We still have something left. Now comes the hard part. Shrimps are unpoppable first, guys. Which Which are we feeling? Rock you? Is that correct? Rock you? We have German accent. Rock you, okay, nice. Thanks, mate. Yeah, join in, bro. I'm gonna go to bathroom for a second. We're gonna do improbable. Map split. Yeah. Actually, we can start, but wait for me, please. Bro, we have one life. Oh my god. Okay, should I do something? Should I place SLE? That'd be smart, right? Liars, give me a donation, I will buy SLE.
Okay.
I think we have to do lots of communication in this mode. One more, please.
Ja. Wait, is it jetzt 2004? Why did I use so much money? Is it...
Okay, you guys can start. Be right back. Oh my god. This time I'm definitely gonna do this. No.
Plateau, you want to do anything? Ah, yeah, good. Then you can start now, I think. Jo, then let's start then.
Na, 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 na. We are alive, we are alive, we are alive, you. Let's go. Woo-hoo. Got myself a caramel coffee and BTD6. Perfect combo. Jay, I'm telling you, these coffees are so good. You infected me into liking coffee, and Liars infected me into liking metal music. I am really, really squishable. It's so good. Look. You can't even. Well, okay. Which is harder, Improbable or Chimps? They both give you 100 rounds, they both give you 1 life. Improbable gives you Insta Monkeys though. Yeah, but we don't really use Insta Monkeys here. So I guess you can ignore it. It's actually Chimps? Fuck me, brother. It's gonna be pain. It's gonna be pain. What is harder, Chimps or boss fight? I'm genuinely interested. I feel like Chimps. Or could be Chimps. Depends on the map, I guess. Yeah, pay to win, I guess, yeah. There we go. No, I'm not gonna get glue hose. I'm gonna get mob glue. I'm going to be very, very important here. Should have played some more to the right. Kind of bad. Kind of bad placement here. I'm not sure what I was thinking then. Good. Who's player 4? Nice. I'm going for mob glue right away, lawyers, because I'm praying there's gonna be a lot of DDTs and shit. And it's never bad to have support.
Yeah, that's always good.
I like supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Which coffee is your favorite, Jay? Is it like different ones that you drink? I feel like you should put them on strong. So, okay, we are done with that. No, we're not. We still have rented it. This is later though. This is later. This is later. Later, alligator. La na 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 na. It's actually fun to like focus on one map only
Ja, das ist pretty cool.
and like finish it completely.
Ja.
Basically, I think it's black border. We're going to get a black border once we're done.
Okay, das ist cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I completed the map. And Star's going for the Paragon down there.
Which Paragon?
Someone, he put down all the tech shooters. Looks like he wants the Paragon or something.
Whew. I got that. We're done with it. Look, glue gunner is done.
Nice.
Yeah, look. Oh my god, nice. Yeah. Great. Good support. 0 damage, but only support. I wanna do one more support actually. If anyone does not like this Ice Monkey placement, let me know before I upgrade him. Also just pure support. Yep, just pure. Yeah, pure support. Yeah. Paragons are cool, bro.
Ja.
Chat, does he slow mobs? Arctic Wind? Probably not. Why do I hear money? What's happening here? Loan. Bro, I'm already getting a headache if I think about how this actually works. I guess 9,000, but you have to pay it back. You have to like pay it back. I don't know. I'm not gonna think too much about it now. What I wanna do is Arctic Wind and larger radius. We all have our roles, bro. Do you notice? I'm doing support stuff. Danas is doing money shit. And our major defense guy is here. Rock you.
Oh.
Wait, is that Rock you? Yeah. Yo, did somebody follow my channel? Why is it saying 67? If anyone's followed me, I actually don't know right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Jay, you didn't answer my question. I asked you, what is your favorite coffee? I am really sad. Really sad. Really sad. Drip? What is drip? Is that some... You have to accept that. I mean, my favorite coffee is like... I actually don't even know. It's just like capsules coffee, I guess. And also self-made iced coffee. Like iced instant coffee. That's pretty good. Like super cool. Black coffee, okay. Do you make it yourself, like with beans, or do you use capsules? Or anything else that I don't know? Myself, alright. Let me guess, you have one right now. You have one right now on you. Does bonus damage to mob class balloons? Frozen balloon grow sharp icicles that can pop balloons that touch them. What are we doing next? What is this? Cool. Next up, I'll be doing a... Do we have Camelot? This is... Yeah, we have lots of Camelot at the beginning here. I still want one sniper back here somewhere. Nice. Yo, I'm buffing them. Fuck you. Look. Player 4? Wait. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. He called out? YJ? What does called out exactly mean? Called out. Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Be happy. I literally couldn't care less which coffee you drink. It's not like a competition. But the thing is, if you're ever going to be a guest in my house, then there's only capsules. That's the thing. If we ever do an EIS stream one day in the future, there's only going to be capsules. Let me try... Wait, if I hex, are we dead? Wait, no, I mean totem. Oh brother, imagine that. That was possibly imagine. Yo, can we get some life? Let me try something. I'm not sure if I need that upgrade. Should do it right. Where's the life? Ah, Jay, of course. I mean, of course you will have a coffee on you, right? Of course. Oh, we ain't getting health. So. Oh!
Yes, we got the Paragon.
Wait, this is the first time I see this. It doesn't have any action. It doesn't have anything to do though. It doesn't have anything to do. Wait, are these their attacks? Brother. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah! Oh my god, Danners! Oh, this gives me boner! Brother! Yo! Good shit, good shit. Very good shit. It just doesn't really have anything to do with Yo, Jay, look at that. Really cool. Crucible of steel and flame. Spinning blades of Bloon immolation. I can't even see that there. Crazy. Ah, okay, that's a thing. I didn't even know this button existed. Interesting. One more round. One more round.
Oh well. Ja, Riz.
Why was it that easy?
Impossible isn't that hard.
No, it was a BAD.
Yeah, we are pretty strong, I think. I don't know.
The fucking BAD popped in 1 second. How?
Yeah. We have a Paragon.
That was the fastest popping BAD I ever seen. Like NGL.
I saw one time Vater with Beast Tamer Fish on max level.
The Paragon has a nuke button.
Okay.
And then a sleeve. I wanna see the ability. Oh, holy shit. Okay. So this is is this the nuke? The blue thing? The blue thing? This is from the Buccaneer. Yeah, first right. Okay. What is this thing? Ultra Spam. Okay, cool. GG's. Yeah, 2 abilities. I left, brother. We do it in chimps. In chimps, I'm gonna try it. You have my word. Power Dino? Let's join. Hello.
Yeah, I needed to put a level in something.
Blah. Rock you. I hate to say it, but we have to switch. Power Dino is new. Welcome in, by the way. Welcome in, Power Dino. You can stay, but Rock you have to leave for Liars. Thanks, mate. I hate to say it, rock you, but streamers have to be in the game, right? Okay. I'd say we go. Last medal of Monkey Meadow. Etienne, are you sure, Dennis? Ready? Stop.
Ready.
You rock you, bro. GG's, man. GG's. Let's go. Monkey Meadow Shimps Edition. Drop a like if you see this on YouTube. If anyone is ever gonna watch the VOD. Oh, shrimps, okay. Let's try to center our damage a little bit so this guy can pop off. What is that? Okay. Are they? I mean, they have... Yeah, that's right. Chat, Azzy plays right there. Dub. Azzy right here. In this corner. Let's have some tactical communication. Ah, it's Power Dino, it's the new guy. Yeah, I'll get, mate, I'll get. Should be fine. Okay, let's go. She gets to see the map pretty often. Yo, if I slow down, keep the game slowed down. I generally don't know what to do in chimps. I generally don't remember the last time I've played chimps. Have I ever played chimps this since like 2019? 2019 I grind the hell out of this game. But on this new account I don't think I ever played chimps. Did I play chimps on this new account? A true test of Bloon players, yeah. I feel like support is still very viable though, yeah, definitely. Sure, let's go. Probably not that important right now. Ah, YOLO. That's the best thing. That's the best pull I can do right now. Okay, that's great. That's evil. That's evil. Nein, 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 nein. Ach du Scheiße. Okay, okay. It's okay. He's a viewer. He's a viewer. We accept it. Power Dino, I know you can hear us. It's okay. But I kindly ask you next time, put your fucking spiker bolt at the end of this line. That's crazy though. This guy's looking clean back there. Can you money farm in chimps? Oh, you cannot. We're going to need lots of communication. Wait, increases pierce, freezes an extra layer, and freeze lasts longer. Increases pierce, okay. And also, Danas, listen up. Also very much harder if we have this dart monkey. Oh my god, ah! He's even missing some of his shots! Ah. This actually makes me mad. This makes me mad. This really makes me mad. Even being a noob, this still makes me mad. Whatever. We got this. If anyone needs money, please request here. Very important. We definitely need communication. It's the A und O in Chimps mode. It's the... Oh. It is what it is, right? Yeah. That's why I in the beginning said let's try to have the main damage like in the center here. Whatever. Whatever, mate. Still doable. Doable. I do wanna drop some damage though. Why? What is about to happen? More up? Yeah. Try to get some damage in then. Okay. More mana would be good there, I guess. 1k. I donated you, liars. Please buy more mana.
Yep, I'm saying what?
Okay. What about now, Danas? We should be good now. There is soap. There is soap. Kinda want this. I get this one first. Nice. The freeze is kicking in. Freeze kick in? Good job. Okay, good. Planjitsu is the way to go. This is definitely going somewhere. Let's ignore the one spike you pulled in the beginning. I mean, yeah, numbers don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. Yeah. I could pull this. Nah. Caltrops. Throws out spiked Caltrops onto the track, Nerby. Route 90 is what? DDTs? We are cooked? What is Route 90? Are we fucking fridged? Tell me what round 90 means, and then I can prepare accordingly. DDTs? Okay, then improved ranks, I guess. Yeah. I'm really feeling it. You only live once. Good. Those three. Sorry, what? Right. I think it's gonna carry us, no? This guy here? 1-0-0. Easy anti-DDT. I press an alchemist down there, please don't place anything there, B.
Nope.
I'm trying to get the mob mauler, which is... Are you saving for the mob assassin?
Right now, I can buy that as well soon.
Do that.
Pursuit for the helicopter and then that.
Okay. I'm gonna... Alchemist is mob, assassin, Blanjitsu and Azadi only. I mean, displacement is good. Because he shoots in a line. This guy should also be at the end of a line, though. Displacement is bad. This one is decent. This one is also good. This guy should be right there. Okay. And the mob mana should also be more to the right. Like here. Like we are missing out on so much track vision. It's unacceptable. Yeah, I'm saving for Blanjitsu.
Okay, ja.
Yeah, just don't place it like. Powerdino, I'm gonna talk in Discord because I think he's from your chat. Powerdino, please don't place anything next to my alchemist.
Okay, got the Moab Assassin.
Bitte nix in der Nähe vom Alchemisten platzieren. Danke. Let me center this totem. Wait, no, the totem. We ain't gonna use it anyway. It's not looking too bad. Chat, it's not looking too bad. It ain't looking too bad here. What is he doing there? White, hot spikes, even faster production. Yeah. Who's getting the pops? Who's getting the pops? How did I get here? Yeah, I'm gonna get Snowstorm. The range is going to increase by a lot. I wonder if I should go for Caltrops. What are you saying for Laios?
I'm going for my Moab Sniper now.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Danas? And what about you, Powerdino? My good old friend, what are you saying for? Elite, okay. Okay, 12k. Yeah, okay. Alright. I first get Banjutsu. Let's go! Power Dino, please buy Juggernaut. Please buy Juggernaut. Nice. Very nice, very good. Okay, nice. Yeah. Wait, no, he's Camelot, Camelot. No. Camelot. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. I wonder what I'm going with. Glaives or faster range. Oh, glaives are bigger and faster, taking more balloons. 5 faster. Yeah. I got ability. Should I use it? I think we're good. Ooh. I'm gonna use it now. Nice. Nice. What are you supposed to say? We're doing good. Okay, we're doing good. Brother, for what? You can't even mute that. Stranger. Keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming. I'm thinking about what to place. You know what? Let's copy liars. Oh shit. Let's do a mob assassin. Heavy bombs, yeah. There you go. Add one desperado. Right. Yeah. We are so dead. Oh my goodness, brother. Brother, we're cooking up.
Yeah, it seems good right now.
We're cooking some balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Also got mob glue right now. Right meow. Right meow. Looking Gucci. What is his skin? What is that? That's definitely not something I have. Do you also see that skin?
Yeah.
What is that?
Someone bought the skin and now it's appearing.
Ah. I'm gonna go Renette as glue. Thank you. On strong. And in addition, we will buy a helicopter. No. No. Our carry left the game. Yes, yes, Power Dino, mein Freund, you are back in the business, baby. You're back in the business, baby. Oh shit, oh shit. Ah, Mann. Power Dino!
95.
Power Dino! Nein! Mann! Ah, ist egal. Oh, so close. DDTs, they suck. How are you supposed to fight DDTs? Oh, you need Monkey Village. You need Monkey Village 0-3, I think. So they can hit all Bloon types. Power Dino, do you want to join us again? I need the black border, bro. I'm not gonna go offline before I have the black border. Can anyone carry me? Is there anyone in my live stream chat who wants to carry? Ah, bro. Jay, do you want to carry us? Hello? Ah, okay. Then have fun. Yeah. Yeah, bro, I definitely not gonna... Maybe some random? We need some carry layers.
Yeah.
Because alone I already know we aren't gonna do this.
Yeah,
Let's hope for some good random.
Yeah.
Leave, please. Please leave.
That's
Tahi.
Account.
Tahi, I love you, brother. But not now. Tahi. Tahi.
He has 0. He never played multiplayer.
Wait, are you telling me he never...
This is his first multiplayer game.
Oh my fucking goodness. Tahi, you can join us, but only if you follow my Twitch channel right now. My man, leave! There's the door. The door is right there. We're playing chimps. I cannot let you inside. I need a carry. I need a carry. No. All I'm asking is for a carry, not for a noob. I am the noob. I need carry. He's not gonna leave, guys.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, let's go. Money, please, for SED. Elias, have an idea.
Okay.
Give him a chance.
What's the plan? The plan is dying the first round, so you get him up new.
Jeez, mate.
Jeez.
Okay. Chat, here's the code. If anyone has the ability to carry a Shims game, then please join. This is one of the only times where I'm actually asking for a pro player to join our game and not a level 0 guy who never played co-op before. This is one of the rare times. Only Shimps. That's the only mode where I need pro people. Rocky, for example. You are welcome. Like anyone with like at least one Shimps. Or similar. Please, somebody join! I'm streaming BT6! Is there nobody? Kann mal bitte jemand joinen? I'm gonna try this German tactic. Kann jemand bitte joinen und uns carryen? Bitte. Yeah, rock you. Please. I want the black border. Okay, now should be doable. I mean, it should be doable with me alone, actually, but I genuinely suck at the game.
I'm also not really very good. You're the highest level and highest shim.
Yeah. Don't even start like that. Don't even start like that. One more random, maybe. Woo!
Oh no! He was really good.
5, 4, 3, 2. My game crashed.
He just came back in, but then we left again.
My game crashed.
Why is it crashing so often today?
I genuinely don't know. I think it's because I'm pressing some side button on my mouse to use push to talk. I genuinely believe it's because of that.
I also do that and it doesn't crash for me.
Then it's just BT6 being BT6. Chat, everybody can join. We have one slot left. I mean, if we play with 3 people, we also have more money, no?
Yeah, we can. 3 people is also good.
Yeah, why not? Let's go. Trust the community. I go to toilet real quick. Be right back, okay? And try, guys, try to focus your main damage in the center here. Not in the beginning. We need lots of track vision.
Yeah. And can you give me 1 donation, then I can get Adora?
I'm poor.
Yeah, I'm asking Roku right now. It's noticed that you got my money, and thank you, Ted. Thank you. Okay, then I guess we're starting now. On slow probably because Max is not here. But yeah, let's start on slow.
So, we are starting.
Well, Billy is here, that's in the next chat. He's got in the toilet. I'll be back in a moment there.
Hello.
Hi, Maxi.
Hello, Billy. Welcome in. Hello, baby. Billy, I have good news. And bad news. Good news, Valheim soon. Bad news, we don't know when. Alright, what's the tactic?
I was saving for a cannon right now.
I'm saving for Azuri. Let's get the heroes.
Yo, and I'm gonna give him ammo.
Yeah, I'm hyped for Valheim, bro. It's going to be you, me, Dennis, and Laios. Bro, can we just make it, please? Is it somehow possible to win champs? Is it possible or not? Yeah. Why not? I would highly recommend inviting Willy. Willy's a cool guy. I miss Willy, bro. Where's Willy? Join BTD. Told me he's gonna join me again. Is he even online now? Yeah, Willy, wake Willy up, brother. He's slacking. Yeah, lock in, baby. You're going for this? Ooh, wait. Prince of Darkness would be cool. Yeah. Ah, nice. Get some damage in, get Seeking Shuriken. Release probably gonna play after 1.0 release. No? But all in all, I'm looking forward, Billy. I'm looking forward to do some goofy shit together. It's going to be my 4th or 5th Valheim playthrough then. And that should really be it then. Full release playthrough, basically. Your favorite is the bomb shooter? Yeah. There you go. Where do I know this song from? Which anime is that? Oh. Oh shit. Buddy. What is new in Bit Heroes? What's the news? Stop. If it's a good update, I will join. Is it like some major stuff? New boss. That's major, no? Yeah. Can you collect bosses? I'll be placing one alchemist, which is generally going to boost whole mid.
Okay.
Who the fuck placed the construction worker?
I think engineer is pretty good.
Yeah, should be good like that. Who the fuck is player 3, mate? Rock here, mate. All good, mate. All good. Nagan and send you shots to excellent mark. Yeah. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. I'm going to get Berserker Brew and then I want to do some team play. I'm going to give some money to others. To kind of support their missions here. Okay, this is done for now. You look like you're doing shit, right? Let me help you on. Ooh. Let's go. Necromancer incoming. Wait, where's the third hero? Let's craft Quincy real quick. Rock you. There you go. Sweet. Nothing gets past my bow. This is risky because I'm not sure if it's going to hit the track. It should though, right? It should. Yeah. Arctic wind. Should be good. Larger radius. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good, baby. Where you cannot collect them in a normal sense, but you can still like, oh, you can turn all of familiars into boss event familiars. I never saw it before. I never done it right. Sounds good though. So promise is you get the recipe to create them, but you will not get the prompt to proceed. Ah, okay, yeah. Which familia? I kept calling them monsters, no? Now I know how they're called again. Familias. Which familia are you trying to get up? I think I'm still trying to get the... I mean, I was theoretically trying to get the red skeleton archer guy, whatever this guy is. Did I actually manage to get that? Been ages since I touched Bit Heroes. Heroes contribute a bunch to the game. You should definitely take a look at them. I recommend Azli, personally. But each hero has its own good stuff. I'm always thinking what to do next. What's my next move? Billy 6 is a fucking chess game. I want you to get main warp.
I'm saving for it.
Good. Snowstorm. It's 4,000. I don't think it's really viable. Ah, shit. Another Blanjitsu, maybe? Should I make another Blanjitsu?
I don't know what's good. We need to, might be good. We need something for many bloons, I think.
I'll make another one. The placements are way better than last time, by the way.
Yeah.
We are really like trying to group together at the center of the map.
That's way better, yeah.
Welcome. Player free, big move right there. Big move. Good move. We got some safety back here. Brother, the piano tutorials are playing in the background. It's eating the... I know what's making my game crash.
What is it?
YouTube kept playing in the background.
Ah, yeah, that makes problem.
Oh, we got another person joining my giveaway. By the way, chat, I'm doing a giveaway on Discord. $10 Steam gift card or Gold Pass in Clash of Clans. You also have the chance to triple the reward, the price, in case you win. All info on my Discord server. You don't have to pay a single penny. And all my giveaways are legit. If you wanna win some money is always nice to buy some cool game or some shit. Enter my Discord server and check out community giveaways. It's the second giveaway I'm doing right now. Second time. I'll be picking the winner in one of our next live streams. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be in 2 days. Who knows? And if the winner's actually watching at that moment then, The widow's just gonna triple. I'm gonna triple the price for that, as a thank you, basically. Special thank you. Okay, 68. How do we feel? Rock you. How are we feeling? Feeling great, no? Yeah.
Looks good. I'm just scared of the camo mobs.
Camo mobs?
Yeah, the black ones.
Wait, are you scared of camo itself?
No, of these mobs, they are extremely fast. And,
okay, yeah.
Camo as well.
You mean DDT mobs?
Yeah.
The black ones.
Yeah, that one.
Do you need monkey knowledge to pop DDTs, guys? Do you need this? Wizard Recary? Okay, DDT is that camo. Alright. Like, let's take a look at this. This is just LED then. It's definitely smart to place one there. I'll be placing a village in the center.
Yeah, that's very good.
Actually, owner of this Dark Monkey, can you sell this? Wait, will I do this? Yeah, I actually want to do this, yeah. I want to place it right there. You cannot sell! Okay, then we go back here. Okay, it's good. So everybody gets camo, and everybody gets everything basically at this point. So they all should be able to do huge damage on DDT. I'm doing Village Liars. I'm doing the middle tier, which is called Monkey Intelligence Bureau. So all the center, all the major defenses here can really attack the DDTs.
Yeah, that's very good.
Because DDT is camo LED.
Yeah.
Like if anyone has money left over that you don't need, giving me would be actually good.
Now the next upgrade I can give you then quite a bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Just everything I get.
Yeah, listen. If you can pop LED and camo, you can pop DDT. This one, no. This one, no. This one, no. Wait, camo LED? This one, yes. I mean, yes. Still no, I don't think so. Camo LED, yeah. Because of this. But this is also gonna be random, like we have more than 3 Nerby. No. No. Yeah, this is viable. Let's get that shit. Okay, now... Come on, that. I'm not sure about Necromancer. Can destroy balloons of any type. Oh, nice. We should be able to stop... Is he LED though? Is Quincy LED? No. Yeah, I'm still going for that. I'm still gonna go for Monkey Intelligence Barrier because Quincy. Okay. Then this is not really needed right now, right? Like, we're good. We're good to go. We don't really need this, MIB. Men in Black. Do we need Men in Black?
What? Men in Black? What?
I feel like this is some reference to Men in Black.
Which is the reference? Which one?
Third upgrade, Monkey Village. Monkey Intelligence Bureau. It's the FRB.
I don't know if that's any
Mikey
reference or-
likes food. Should we get that? Like, I'm playing chimps. It's important that I'm not just wasting $8,000. Like, look at the loadout we have here. But yeah, his main arrow does not is the FPG. So I saw it. Oh, alright. Thanks for money, bro. Yeah, you can join us, Mikey, of course. Everybody can join. You're not gonna make it past round 20 with that setup? What if I get that? We should... What I think is going to get us through round 90 is a crossbow master. We should get one. Let's everybody save for a crossbow master. This guy, too late. Because crossbow master, I know it's a proven defense against GTs.
Okay.
No? Okay, I'm not gonna get that. Let's get this though. And let's get this. Okay, now what we do? What do I do? What can save us? Sure, why not? Maybe overdrive? Yeah, sorry. Wizard Monkey here. I think Wizard Monkey's good, right? Maybe Santa? Here you go, brother. I'm gonna go a bit faster because I feel like we're dying. Yeah, this is basically it. No crazy upgrades yet. Top path wizard. Alright, let's see. Top path wizard, sure. Yep. Ah. No, wait. Okay. Yeah, chat, anybody, you can help me out right now if you know what would save us. I feel like we're doing pretty good. I feel like we going to survive round 90. But if you don't think so, then let me know. What should I place? Price for Ninja Monkey? Here? Sure. Top path, right? What do you go for with? Do you go Wall of Fire or Monkey Sense? Yeah, alright. On strong or first? Guys, I'm saving for a Wizard Monkey top 502. I really would appreciate money. This might save our ass. Very good range. Holy crap, is this range. What the fuck?
Yeah, he has insane range, yeah.
What is this range, bro? Huh? That's the whole map. Close to the first one. Gonna fast forward a bit. We good, right? We good. There you go. Arcane Spike, faster flying magic down some huge mission most bloom times especially mobs. Very great. And now this guy. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. 34,000 in 7 rounds. Ain't gonna happen, brother. Ain't gonna happen. Can I do cash drops? Nope. Well, actually, maybe. They attack Seek? What? Yeah, Liars and Rocky, please don't buy anything. We're going for Archmage. Apparently Archmage, a true master of magical wizardry, attacks fast and does more damage to mob class runes. Yeah, this is like the anti-mob tower.
Yeah, really strong.
Like, look, especially in mob class runes. So yeah, this is viable.
Yeah.
We might actually get that. Last game, I think we survived around 95.
Yeah, that's where we died.
Holy shit, whew! Okay. We are so dead. We not even gonna make it around 90.
It looks scary right now.
Oh yeah, remember your abilities. Remember them. Liars, remember to use your abilities.
Yeah, I do.
That's a frightening reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy, if you want to enter the giveaway, you have to do everything I said. Like, did you do everything? I'm gonna check later. Ah, no! Come on, 10k! It's not gonna happen. Shit. Okay, let's see, chat. Let's see. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? Good question, right? Ooh! Yo, what's happening? Is it that guy? We good, we good. We good. The freezer is kind of carrying here. Freeze! Freezer, please! Freeze! Oh my god. Minigunner, focus minigunner. Good. Okay. Oh my god, so close. 5,000, bro. And then we are safe. Come on, 5k. $4k, 4,000, 4,000.
Yeah, we're really close.
500, 500, 600. Please. 200. $200, please. Spam me. Oh my god, we survived those DDTs. That was so important. That was so important. First or strong? First, alright. Let's fucking go, mate. I really hope this is going to carry the game.
It should be. It should.
Look at those pops going up. Let me compare it. Okay, this guy is also crazy. Ooh, Esley. I like that. Decent pop amount. It's also good. This is also very viable. Hä? How is he getting pops? Huh? He should not be getting any pops. Okay. Woo-hoo. Are we going to win chimps? Are we going to win chimps for the first time on my fresh account? The moment of truth is very close. What you're about to witness is something historical. Thanks to Mikey, my friend. Okay. Next to who? To him. Do we leave it at 2-0-0? Brap, me. Oh, no! Oh, shit! This guy's gonna one-shot ceramics, no? This guy's gonna one-shot ceramics.
100.
Let's go! Is this the moment? Come on, Archmate! Pop up, baby! Ooh, look at those pops. What the fuck? Ooh! Ezzy popping off as well. Everything we can do quickly. This is it, right? This is it. There's nothing else we can do. Better than nothing. Let's see, let's see. Cinematic moment.
And we did it. Oh, jeez.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Highest level guy with the lowest pop amount, but I don't give a fuck, baby. We did it. We did it.
Yeah, very nice.
Wait, I have the most damage, but less. Interesting. GG's. That was fun. That was actually fun.
That was
Damn.
very cool.
Tryharding is fun, baby. Tryharding is fun.
Yeah.
Chat, for that, any new people who are watching right now, drop a fucking follow. We just did the first time chimps. In the fresh account. On stream. Let's fucking go. Okay. Sure. Wait, did it? Wait. Did he answer to me or to you? Like,
He answered to you, but he gave me a follow. So
hey!
he answered to you,
Okay,
something like
I gun you that.
Yeah, very nice.
Right, Rocky, isn't that also your first chimps? What a moment, bro. Nah. Let's fucking go. Why is there two different ones? Chat. You know exactly what moment it is. We finished with a banger though. We finished with something very, very good. Chat, mwah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for this amazing stream. We're gonna see us all next time again. Thanks for joining in. And I wish you all a good day. Okay? See you next time. Thank you so much. Join my Discord server. I'm doing a giveaway there as well. And we all see us next time. See ya!
Yeah.
I see it. And drop a follow if you want to be part of future BTD6 games.